All right, Nicole.
So Nicole says, talk to me about super splitting. I've been binge pod listening and it's come up a few times. I don't see the point. What am I missing? What's the financial benefit? Hubby has less super than me and is slightly older than me. The assumption being we grow old and retire at similar times. Is there actually a benefit of our super balances being closer together? If relevant, WA, super is not part of assets in the event of a relationship breakdown last time I checked.
I thought it was a federal system now with the Federal Family Circuit Court or
Know
something.
that.
Is Western Australia operating in a different vibe with family law property settlements than the rest of Australia?
So I suppose for Nicole, it's on the assumption of equality, isn't it? It's like,
and I do have a little thing here, and this is grain of salt crap because I've got ChatGPT. I'll just circle back for the corporates among us. Because it said, yes, Western Australia operates on a different vibe in family law, my words, it quoted it, for property settlements because it's the only state that hasn't fully referred its powers to the Commonwealth under the Family Law Act for de facto relationships. Interesting.
So de facto's only.
Well, here's how it plays out. Married couples, if you're married in Western Australia, it's the same as the rest of Australia, property settlements and parenting matters.
Yeah.
But de facto couples in the rest of Australia, property and maintenance disputes go in the Federal Circuit Court. That's what I thought before. But WA has its own laws for de facto property and maintenance matters. So
Right. So for Nicole, she says hubby, so she's not part of the
not a de
WA
facto
system.
No, she's federal because she's not de facto. Also, at me, don't take that. Get your own legal bloody.
There we go, ChatGPT. Yeah. So there's you could debate this for forever and a day, couldn't you? Like, well, you've worked for 10 years. I've worked for 10 years. We've got different super balances because our incomes were different. We either accept that or we say, no, we're going to balance it back up. I had some time off for paternity leave. Didn't get paid super through that time. Right? It's going to be life's not equal.
No. Thanks,
Next
Gandhi.
question.
Yeah. No, but I think it's – so basically she goes, what's the financial benefit and is it worthwhile? It goes back to you and your partner, what's important to both of you. And I think making sure we're both looked after financially in the event of something going down is and should be talked about and considered.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons – in terms of the financial benefits where you may super split, you've touched it, if one's been on leave and whatnot, we've made the view as a household that, well, I took a blow in my super for 12 months, so we're just going to slowly top up and get to a bit of a parity.
Yeah.
That's number one. The other thing, it could be beneficial later on if there are different ages, and if someone is older, there could be a compelling argument to load up the lower age spouse's super with more super than the older one, because when the older one gets on age pension benefits, if they're eligible, blah, 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 the younger spouse's super is hidden from Centrelink assessments. So that's a way that you could do it. But I think it just needs to be a discussion. Do we want to try and have the view that we're in this relationship, we share a house, we share a bed, we share a joint bank account. Sure, we've got our own bank accounts for our daily stuff. We're basically all in this together.
Yeah.
And it's a bit...
yours is mine, mine's yours.
Well, but it's, in this day and age online and, every time you talk about this, it's like touching the freaking third rail of getting zapped. But at the end of the day, are you a team and do we want things played out as a team?
So is a lot of the super splitting down to, well, in the event of something going south, i.e. a divorce?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's all good until it's not.
That's
so
right.
we could say, okay, let's don't go with the super splitting and you've got 500 and I've got 300.
Yeah.
And now we're divorcing and we're splitting it down the middle anyway, right? Or
But it's not, and this is it, like I've had enough to do with family law
it's never down the middle.
and it's its own beast. And if you can keep out of family law courts and all that stuff, you'll be better off. And you've just got to think, like if in this instance, this is occasionally this comes up, but I would say Nicole's vibe here is the outlier where the wife has the higher balance than the husband. Sometimes it's the other way. Now, there could be reasons for that. Old mate could have been self-employed for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Old mate could have been a stay-at-home dad for the last 5 years. Who cares? Whatever the reason is, going forward, do we have the view that your earnings and my earnings are the earnings of the household? And this sounds like 1950s trad.
Yeah.
Trad wife and trad husband.
Yeah.
Does all income come into the household, is it ours, regardless of our roles, regardless of what we do, and how are we proportioning? I've got cognitive decline. I can't even say the word cognitive.
Your England's suffering. So
I can't recall stuff as fast anymore. I think I know what it is.
too much caffeine. So that maybe we're at a stage where is it old school to be saying it's all in a pool to be shared together? Are we at that stage in 2025?
Well, this is the thing. It's a very interesting point, this super splitting thing, because on one side of the ledger, I wish we had Rach here for this discussion so she would put her woman's touch on it, but we'll go there and get cancelled anyway. You know, one side, you've got to keep away from the extremes, I believe, in life, okay? So one side of the extreme is we're married, we're together, but we keep our money completely separate, all right?
That's the extreme.
That's one extreme. The other side of the extreme is we do everything together, supers at parity, blah, 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 right? And we need to do super splitting to top up the lower income earners. But it's just weird in society. It's like, well, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but
both ends have a voice. Because it's controversial, maybe
I just think sometimes
voice.
There is conflicting messages. Like if you hang your hat on your one extreme, that everything needs to be kept separate, you better make sure that logic rolls out in every other part of your life.
Yeah.
And if you're on that one side of the extreme, does that mean you don't super split because what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours?
Yeah, and I think, as said before, like it's all good until it's not. So in the event of something going pear-shaped, what we said 10 years ago, oh no, I've changed my mind on that now. Like it's all for their own sort of thing. But if I'm Nicole, I'm saying, well, do what you want to do. As long as you're both on the same page, you and hubby together, then...
But that's the bigger thing, isn't it? Like if you're married or with someone, you want to make sure, and I've used this terrible analogy before, usually there's somebody in the money driver's seat, right? So they're in the Facebook group, they're listening to the podcast, they're nerding out on money. Usually that's the case.
Yeah.
Now, I believe your partner can be a passenger. They're sitting next to you. They've got visualizing on, I can see the steering wheel, I can look over at the speedo, I can see the horizon, I can see out both windows. They're a passenger, but they're informed. They know where things are happening. I think that's not a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I think if I can wreck this analogy and destroy my reputation, everything at the same time, you don't want your partner to be in a box trailer covered in the back, just blindly going along with things.
Yeah, because hard to breathe.
They're on the journey.
Yeah.
They don't know where they're going. They don't know what's happening.
They're not supported.
They're just like, heads in the cloud, which ignorance is bliss and all that stuff. But I think you want to make sure you can speak to it more being married, but I would imagine you'd want to make sure if one person's the driver, that you have support from the other person, so we're on the same page, even if one's making the day-on-day decisions.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think there's so many different versions of it, but your analogy of someone in the box trailer is bordering on like financial abuse.
No, I think it's just more. It could be if they've been locked in the box trailer, but if it's more of a heads in the sand, I don't care, darling, you just run it, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's not good, because if things happen, if the driver dies prematurely,
yeah,
the person locked in the box trailer or without the vision, they don't know what's going to happen. Now, if there's a relationship breakdown, you might get taken for a ride because they've done stuff. Or, the third thing.
Not in the trailer.
You've been, not even in the trailer, but the financial abuse thing, they've locked you in the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is a scary thing.
Yeah, and if you're my wife, you're in the passenger seat, but you're holding onto the rail very
the
tightly.
Jesus handle, yeah. Who's the driver with you and Amy? Or have you got one of those learner cars where you both have a steering wheel?
Put your own brakes on.
Remember the garbage trucks that had the two wheels?
Yeah, that's right. No, I'd say it's slightly me.
Right. But she's very much an informed passenger on the front seat.
Yes, yeah. And the transparency and communication between us is ever improving. Like it probably early days, it's like, I've just gone and done this. Like not major decisions, but I think it's the transparency is the key.
Do you guys have a thing where it's like we can both spend up to $500 without kind of running it up the flagpole? Like, is there a threshold, or is it more of a no matter the cost, if it's a golf thing or a bike thing, I got to let her know?
No, I think it's just a communication thing to say, well, she's thinking about this or I'm thinking about this. Is the other supportive or encouraging?
Do you guys share a daily account?
Yeah.
So
share everything.
So you go and buy
even the bed.
Really? Interesting. I've been in John's ensuite.
No, you haven't.
I have. When you showed me around the house.
Oh, right.
You got the two shower heads.
Yeah, okay. We actually hadn't even moved in by then.
No, that's right. I bet you tested the shower already. Hey,
mate.
So if you go and buy a coffee down the road, she can open the app and see it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Nice. So you can't surprise your bride with some flowers.
Well,
you want to make sure you get the flowers home.
Get today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.